again, everyone. It's Andy here looking at the markets, and I'm looking at the intra-week activity here for the major currencies, including the dollar index futures. You got the dollar index over here on the far left here, and this is on a 4-hour chart. What we're looking at is last week's trading range, comparing it to this week's trading range. So what I've done is highlighted last week's trading range. You can see here last week's open, last week's close, and you got the low, high, and the close. But in addition, we also have the yen, the Swiss franc, and the Canadian across the top. And you got the euro, the pound, and the Australian dollar across the bottom. Now, these are all on 4-hour charts. And the implication here, or the idea, is that if the dollar goes one direction, we should expect the other currencies to correspond in one of those one direction. But take a look here at the dollar index futures breaking down below last week's low here. You have a little breakdown at 79.90. Before pushing lower here down as low as 78.90 and then bouncing, closing right around 79.23. Now the reason I mentioned this is because this break below last week's low provided you with an opportunity in the dollar to get short the dollar, which would mean that on the opposite side we would actually get long the euro. So you can see here at the same time that the dollar index was breaking down below the low, that the euro was actually breaking above last week's high, and it continued to rally beyond this point, pushing as high as 137.10. But ultimately, the main thing here is that the euro broke above this 135 level, and it closed above this level. So now going into next week, it looks like this is going to be a support zone here, down at 135. And in addition, what's kind of interesting here is that the dollar was going lower, and the pound was not able to really rally above last week's high. You can see here that the initial move this week here for the pound was that it wanted to push below last week's low, but the fact that the euro was going in the opposite direction here would have held you in check, hopefully, because typically we want to see the pound and the euro going in the same direction. So as you can see here, the pound going up off of this low at 156.75 at the same time that the euro was going up would have probably been the safer play. But you can see here that the pound running into resistance right around 158.75, not able to go to last week's high, finding the sellers very aggressively selling the market here, and then pushing down towards the lows here at 156.91. This is not what you want to see in the pound going into next week. However, if we do hold above this 157 even level, I think that that's going to help the pound rally back up to the 159 and 160 zone. The Australian dollar here, just a mess this week, continuation of last week's trading range. You can see here a little bit momentum to the downside, trying to take out last week's low, no love. As you can see here, tried to take it out three times before failing, and closing right around last week's low. Excuse me, a little cough here. But overall, the Australian dollar proved to be a pretty difficult currency if you're trying to trade it. You can see here, tight range. 103.70s, let's call it 103.70s to 104.70s, only 100 pip range here on the week. Yeah, considering what you were looking at in the euro and the pound, this could have got you into trouble if you weren't careful. So on the flip side, you can see here that the opportunity was good in the yen, breaking above 91 and pushing above to 92.95. Very nice push here on the week. Continuation order flow in the Japanese yen. Be looking for more support next week, going in around 91 or so. And the Swiss franc breaking down similar to the dollar index futures. You can see 92.20. Very nice breakdown point, pushing all the way to about 90.20. This providing a nice move for you if you would have caught it. And next week we'll be looking for resistance right around 92. Let's see if this market can creep back up, retrace, and then find the sellers, and then push back down to the 90 even level. But you can see this is psychological at 90 even, so we're going to have to be careful here to make sure that the market's going to push down below this. It needs to trade around the 90 even level. We can't have it trading above 90. Canadian dollar here, choppy range, if you will. You can see here that strong up week last week, and this week all we're doing is retracing it, coming back down to the one even level, reaching as low as 99.63 or so. Now the question here is whether or not this Canadian dollar is going to be able to rally off of this. Considering that we had a nice up move last week, it should be a retracement, and perhaps next week we should expect some sort of a rally to the upside. Now, going into next week, it appears that the dollar index futures is weak. We've given up support, but I do find some major levels underneath us in the weekly moving averages, so we'll have to see how that plays out. But for the most part, right now it looks like the dollar index futures is showing weakness, and we can continue to look for more continued weakness as long as the euro continues to stay above 135. So I hope that helps, folks. This is Andy signing off, and good luck at your trading. Stay safe out there. Best regards to all. That's all I got for this market wrap. We'll see you at the next video.
While I got you here, I wanted to take a quick moment to say that if you really liked what you're looking at here in the free Forex market wrap video, I wanted to give you the opportunity to come take a look at the premium weekly Forex market wrap video that I do every week. And basically it's a little bit more in depth, or should I say a lot more in depth information about the markets that I cover. And you can see here that in this short video I go over the basics about what I've been looking at on the major currencies. And the more in-depth market wrap video, I take a look at a in-depth analysis on the 6 major currency pairs. You also get actionable trading scenarios. The important thing here is that we're offering a 3-day risk-free trial, so you don't have to pay a cent. It's about a 30 to 45 minute video that'll go through all the major currency pairs that I look at, and it shows you a lot more in-depth analysis and forecast, looking at the longer term picture and the big major trends that are affecting what you're looking at on the lower time frames that you're looking at on a day-to-day basis. So take a moment to go take a look at the premium market wrap video. You can see the link here provided, www.traderstouch.com/3day, and it also includes a free membership to the Traders Learning Network, where you can meet other traders that are like-minded individuals, and they're basically there to help everybody looking at the same markets as you. So good luck, hope it helps, and look forward to seeing you on the inside.